It's Khadija Yansani, founder of bloomintoyou.com and creator of the Client Creation Queen program, where I work with my clients to get paid, get clients while living their sacred calling. And I'm so excited to be speaking with my client, Janine Aruscio, who was a rock star client, and to be doing this client success story with her. So welcome, Janine.
Hi, thank you. Good to be here.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about how you work with clients as a coach?
Yeah, so I am a lifestylist and a whole person coach, and I support executive women who are feeling disillusioned, discouraged, and disappointed about their success in their careers. And I help them transition to a more heart-centered life and work for joyful success, deeper meaning, and clear focus.
Beautiful. Well, as you say that, I can tell that you have experience with that. Can you tell us how you found your niche and that was the group of people you were supposed to be serving?
That is correct. Well, you helped me tremendously. I had not found it until we worked together. But it was really, my work's all about coming from the heart and becoming whole. And so I have a lifetime of this journey of getting to my heart and feeling more whole. And I'm building off of that. So I had a professional corporate career for many years, starting in New York. I worked in banking. I got an MBA in marketing, and I worked for Revlon and Godiva Chocolatier and Victoria's Secret Beauty, and got great experience. But something was missing. I thought that was creativity. So I switched. I got a degree in interior design and moved to California and worked in design for 15 years, culminating in co-owning a pretty prestigious design firm in San Francisco. And although that would be a dream for somebody, it wasn't my dream. And at the end of the day, I was depressed and angry and cranky and 35 pounds overweight, and my whole body hurt. And I just realized that, my soul was crying out for my work and my life to be aligned with what I was brought here to do. And so lots of teachers came along in the form of actual people and podcasts and books. And the real sort of kicker came during an acupuncture session where I got a divine download about this business. It wasn't even something I was really considering at the time, but it completely made sense in that it would use all of my skills and experience and the wisdom I've gained over, about 35 years of working, to help other women who are feeling the same way to step into their truth.
Well, I love hearing you share your story, even though I've heard it. Anytime we share our stories, it can sound different. And it feels really powerful for me to hear you own everything that you've gone through, because part of what we're doing when you grow your coaching business or your healing business is that you're bringing all of your expertise, all of your experience, maybe leaving the parts that you no longer want, but creating the parts that feel more fulfilling to you. So tell me where you were when we started working together.
I had the information from this download that I had gotten a few months before. I had just finished going through the incubator program at the Hivery, where I actually met you, and was like I knew in my heart where I wanted to be and what I wanted to say, but it wasn't coming together for me, and I didn't know. I'd just taken a few months off to kind of decompress and move, and I didn't know where to start. So I was at the beginning. Like had the idea, but didn't have clients, didn't know what to do first, next, or last. And luckily I found you.
Well, it's interesting because I feel like a lot of people will relate to having a divine download, if they call it that, which a lot of my people do, or just this inner knowing, this inner pulling that there's something that they're supposed to be doing. So there are a sea of coaches in the online world. What made you decide to work with me when there were so many people that you could have chosen to work with?
Sure. Well, first I had the benefit of meeting you in person, and I just loved your energy and just sort of this wise queenness about you. And then I looked at your website and all of your testimonials, and I mean, you had what I wanted, and that was a way to get my business off the ground and get my first and second and third clients.
So can you share with people, well, first of all, did you know that you could get clients? Like, did you have that belief already and you just needed the steps? Or like, what was your psychology? Or what were you like, I'll give this a try. I don't know if I can get it. Or did you feel like you knew you could get clients, you just needed to learn how?
I think I knew. I may not have had the confidence or didn't think they would come so quickly, but I didn't have any idea of the how.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So share with people what you did to put yourself out there and to begin to bring clients into your business.
I just did everything you told me to do. And it worked. So that included one of the very first things, action steps I took to put myself out there was starting a Meetup group. I did that in the first week of January, and we came up with a name and sort of the concept of it. And it's Marin Women Healing in Nature, because nature is profoundly important to me. And I wanted to be outside more, and I wanted to be with groups of women. And within 2 weeks, I think I had almost 30 members. And in the middle of January, I hosted my first event. And I don't know, I think about maybe 12 people RSVP'd, and I think 8 ended up coming. And I gave my first offer. You sort of very gently suggested or asked me if I'd be comfortable making an offer to people for a free consultation. And I was not sure at first, but I stepped into the courage and the challenge. And it was great. I loved it. People had a good time. I'm trying to think if anyone I'm not sure if anyone at that event took me up on the offer, but it was fine because I had done it. And so it became, much easier after that to just keep doing it.
Awesome.
Yeah. And now there's over 60 members in my group. We've had 2 or 3 events, obviously now that we're at home. We're not meeting out in nature together, but it's still a pretty active group and people are still joining. So that was an inspired idea.
Awesome. And then you have a signature workshop, right?
I do. Yes. You also were like, could you see yourself doing a workshop? And I was like, sure. I don't know. So I offer a workshop on creating a personal mission statement. And I've done one in person with rave reviews. And I'm actually next Friday offering it online. So we're going to move to the internet and see how that goes. And folks are signing up. I'm just doing Khadijah's steps.
I'm just so happy. Like, I love seeing you on social media and in your feed doing your thing and creating mission statements. I mean, I think they're important all the time, but even I think more impactful at this time where people are reevaluating who they are, how they want to contribute, and how they're meant to make a difference in the world. So I love that.
Yeah.
It might sound like Janine is just like, oh, so she started putting herself out there and she got clients. I'm curious, like, was there a time when you felt discouraged or felt like this isn't working? I don't know if I'm going to get what I want. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was putting a fair amount of energy into it, and it was first of all, very different than working at a job I didn't like. So it wasn't like drudgery or I felt like, oh, I'm doing all this work. But after a little while of events and, offers and doing consultations and no one signing up, I got a little discouraged, probably maybe midway through the 6 months. And then we got a national pandemic. And then I was like, oh, well, I'm definitely not going to get any clients now. And that's actually when I got my first client, was someone who I had met. And it was someone I'd met months before and I had done some pro bono work for her, more from my design experience, and stayed in touch. And she just seemed like, was the perfect candidate for the work that I do, and just stayed in touch with her. And she had her ups and downs with her business and with the pandemic. And then just asked her again at another time, and she was ready to sign up.
Oh, I love that, because it also shows that you're planting seeds, you're cultivating your garden. You don't know when the flowers are going to pop up. And thankfully, even though you felt that way, you didn't give up and you followed up. So that is incredibly inspiring.
Yeah.
So what would you say to someone who might be in the spot where you were midway through, where they're feeling discouraged and not knowing if all the energy and time they're putting into it is going to pay off?
I would say just stay focused on the process and enjoy what you're doing, and it will pay off. Just trust.
What she said.
Trust, yeah. Trust what Khadija said and what I said. It'll happen.
Yes, indeed. Well, I'd also love to know, what were some new things that you hadn't done before that you've done in the last several months?
Well, starting a Meetup group and doing a workshop, posting video of myself online.
You are so natural at, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, learning a lot more about using social media as a business and not just posting pretty pictures. I've reached out to other networking groups and organizations to be a speaker, and I actually spoke at my first women's group a couple of weeks ago. Did a presentation on radical self-care for radical results, and that was fabulous. So it's all been really stretching. I mean, I've started doing some painting during the sheltering in place, and I've been posting, my art online, which is kind of vulnerable and fun and exciting. What else?
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's all been new. I mean, yeah.
Well, I love that, because I mean, just from you sharing your work experience with us in the beginning, it's like you're a new coach, but you aren't new to the work that you do. And as you describe how you work with people, whether it's through radical self-care, being out in nature, it's personal to Janine. It's her following her purpose, her calling, and showing up and expressing who she is authentically, and people really beginning to resonate with that.
Totally. And
go ahead.
I know. I think when you are just 100% yourself, it will attract the people you're wanting to attract. I mean, you might remember sometimes when we'd be talking about different language or things, and I'd be like, no, or even the niche, I'd be like, no, that just doesn't feel right. And so definitely sticking with, going with your instincts and just being completely true and authentic is the best sort of marketing and the easiest kind of marketing you can do.
Yeah. Well, if someone was considering working with me, but they're like, I don't know if I want to invest, what would you say?
And she's not paying me to say this, I would say do it. I got way more than I anticipated or expected. So much more value than the actual cost, and the investment was worth every penny, really.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. And I remember one time when you were having your first consultation and we spoke, and you said, Khadija, you said that I should be charging more. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah, you should be. Yes.
Awesome. Well, Janine, I'm so proud of you, and you are truly a bright light in the world. And I wish you continued success in getting more clients, helping them live their purpose and be in alignment with their mission. Any final thoughts that you have for people around, this journey of putting yourself out there and being visible with your work?
Yeah, I would say I think it's a really esteemable act to do that for yourself. Like that in itself is a tremendous act of self-care. To push those edges, take those chances, keep growing. I mean, I think even part of what I like about being a coach is that you're always growing yourself. You're not just helping your clients, that you're blooming into who you are. And so, yeah, if it's a little uncomfortable, do it. I mean, if it's painful, maybe wait until you're ready. But the discomfort is a good thing.
Awesome. Well, I love that you said, I just sensed your ownership in being a coach. And I think we've talked about this before, where sometimes I'll speak with people who they don't quite resonate with the word coach. And I know that you had some feelings about it. And I'm curious, like, what has shifted for you, if anything has shifted for you around that word?
Yeah, I was definitely one of those people who resisted the word coach. And now I have seen the benefit through working with you. I have seen the benefit through working with my clients. I have gotten benefit. Yeah, I just see the tremendous value in it. And so I don't have a problem now saying, identifying as a coach anymore.
Awesome. And I hear you saying my clients. How many clients are you holding space for now?
I currently have 6 clients after 6 months, which is pretty amazing. Yeah.
It's very amazing. And much success to you, Janine, and to your workshop. And thank you for stepping up, for showing up. And you were such a true pleasure and joy to work with. So I know your clients are so lucky to benefit from your wisdom. So,
thank you. Likewise.
thank you.
Thank you.